everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of Open Here with me, Enby Andy. And first of all, apologies for missing an episode last week. I've had a few issues with my mental health and I just took a small break to try to get on top of things and see how I feel. And I took some time off work and spoke to my doctor. So I'm back. Still not 100%, but it's good to be back here speaking to people and speaking about my journey being non-binary. It's important if you are struggling to speak to your friends and family and speak to your doctor. So if you, like me, are having issues, don't suffer in silence. Speak to someone and get the help you need. So as usual, we're going to discuss 3 topics that have been sent in by the viewers. And we're actually going to discuss 2 topics sent by viewers and one just based on my most recent experience in the past few weeks. So topic number 1 is, would I change anything about how I came out? Then topic number 2, we're going to be discussing non-binary representation in the media. And then number 3, the level of transphobic abuse in public. So moving on to the first topic then, would I change anything about how I came out? So I came out end of March, start of April, and a lot's changed since then. A lot has happened, in my life. And would I change anything about how I came out? Probably yes. I think once I discovered that I was non-binary, and once I accepted and understood who I am and how I felt, I wanted to do it. I wanted to come out. I wanted to come out fast. I wanted to shout who I am. I wanted to express who I am to people. And I probably did it in a really kind of speedy, insensitive way, which may have hurt people. I was probably thinking about just myself and focusing on just myself. And I could have done it in a better way. I could have took some time to make sure people understood and not to hurt other people. And yes, when you're coming out, it's important to really put a lot of self-focus on yourself. But the way I did it, it could have been seen as out of the blue and a bit of a shock to people. So I would change how I came out. I wouldn't change coming out. I'm very proud of who I am. I'm very happy with who I am. But it's just the method of doing it and just being a bit more considerate to other people's feelings might have been a better way of doing it for myself. Obviously, everyone's different. If you're thinking about coming out, or if you did come out already, you decide what's going to be the best way for you to do it. For me, I should have took a bit more time, a bit more consideration. But what's done is done. Like I say, I am me, I am out, and that's not going to change. I'm happy being non-binary. So the second topic is non-binary representation in the media. Where is it? Apart from Bimini winning RuPaul's Drag Race, I can't think of many other, or in fact any other, non-binary representation in the media, whether that's TV, film, video games. If anyone has any, please be sure to put in the comments and tell us what we're missing. I think it's important that we have some kind of representation, because the more views, the more people see us, the more people understand us, the more accepted we'll be. And obviously there are people like Sam Smith, who came out publicly, who was a singer, and I believe Demi Lovato was a singer. Again, I've never heard these people sing. That's how down I am with the kids. But I know these people are non-binary and out in the public eye. But when it comes to things like TV shows or movies, I think there's a chronic lack of representation. And obviously when it does happen, there's always going to be those ones who are going to push back and say, oh, why did that character need to be non-binary? It kind of already happens with LGBT characters, whether they're openly gay or bi or anything in a TV show. There's always going to be some people kicking off and asking, well, why do you be so open about it? But it's important. important for me, important for young people coming out, important for anyone to show that we have the representation in the media that shows that our lifestyle is normal and accepted, and it's not a weird underground thing. So hit me up in the comments if you do know of any non-binary representation in the media, and let's spread the knowledge, and let's give these shows a watch and support them. And the final thing this week's episode, it's kind of affected my mental health quite a bit. I've received quite a few attacks, not physical attacks, just verbal attacks in public based on my appearance. For example, I went to Primark last week to buy a bag, and I was just on the way out. Someone walked past and called me sick, which is lovely. Last week I was out in Southampton and in the gay bars, no issue whatsoever. But as soon as I move away from the kind of safe areas, the amount of comments I got just walking through the street or queuing for a nightclub, like, why the hell's a man in a dress, etc, etc. They were pretty hurtful, and it just shows that there's so much more work to be done to get to a stage where we're not going to be verbally attacked, or worse. It happens, so much worse happens, and should I count our blessings that they were just verbal attacks? Yes, but it still hurts. And again, this ties back to the more representation we have, the more we're seen to be normal and accepted, the less this will happen. And I can't understand it. If you got nothing nice to say, just shut the fuck up. Why is your life so full of hate that you have to say something? I don't understand it. And we've obviously got our supporters, our friends and our allies, and they're amazing people. But if you see someone on the street, or if one of your friends starts spouting out transphobic abuse or homophobic abuse or anything like that, challenge them. Tell them it's wrong. It's bloody 2021. We shouldn't be getting this kind of abuse, and we shouldn't be made to feel shit. We shouldn't be made to feel horrible for just walking around being us. That's the thing. I wasn't dressed weird. I was in a skirt, tights and a top. So fuck. I dressed like how I wanted to feel, and that doesn't give anyone else the right to spout abuse or hate towards me. So this is where we ask allies, please, if you see something, challenge it. Tell people that their antiquated opinions and homophobic abuse isn't right, and they really need to fucking stop. So yeah, that's, like I said, that's one of the things which is really kind of knocking on my mental health at the moment. So let's all do better. Let's just understand each other and give each other some basic human decency, and stop being dicks. It's as easy as that. Don't be a dick. So that's this week's video. Like I say, sorry for missing last week's. I'll be back on recording next week as well. Hit me up in the comments section with any kind of questions or queries that you want me to cover. Please like, share and subscribe to the videos, and make sure you keep in touch to watch the future ones. So in the meantime, look after yourself, your friends and your family, stay friendly, and I'll speak to you next week. Goodbye.